Welcome to Jacobean House Histories. In our first episode, we found out a little about George Plowright, how his remarkable story came to be recorded by the rector of Burton Latimer in the 1630s, the Reverend Dr. Robert Sibthorpe, Justice of the Peace. In this episode, we're going to find out how George first became drawn into the conflict between Robert Sibthorpe and Thomas Bacon, Lord of the Manor of Latimer.
On Burton Latimer Wold, where the windmills stand today, in the 1600s was common land, and at that time, as long as anyone could remember, any villager was allowed to cut the thorn bushes to burn as fuel or to repair fencing. There was also a 4-acre pen next to the wold. It had a bank and a hawthorn hedge around it, and there anyone without land of their own could graze their sheep or a cow.
At 2 o'clock in the morning, a mob of 200 people, armed it was said with swords, pikes and pistols and other weapons, encouraged by Lord of the Manor Thomas Bacon, many of whom were tenants of Thomas Bacon, stormed onto the wold and proceeded to cut down the pen hedge and the ancient thorn bushes there. This continued for 2 whole days and 2 whole nights. Parish records say that over 100 loads of thorn were taken away. Reports at the time say that Thomas Bacon stood among the rioters, encouraging them. He said he could protect them from any court proceedings. He told his tenants that unless they took part in the activity of tearing down the thorn bushes, then he would put them off his land. He is said to have offered money so that people would take part in the riot. Folk from the villages around became so concerned that many of them came to Burton Latimer to seek to oppose what was going on. The local justices intervened. They reminded the rioters that in the time of King James I, some 20 years before, the leaders of a riot in Newton had been hung, drawn and quartered. That intervention brought the riot to an end, and thankfully bloodshed was avoided. Bacon was accused of seeking to appropriate the common land for himself. George Plowright as constable brought the case to court.
Robert Sibthorpe, as Justice of the Peace, found against Bacon, and Bacon was fined £15 and ordered to sign a £500 bond which committed him to repair the pen hedge and to forego any claim to the land.
In our next programme, we're going to be looking at how the conflict between Sibthorpe and Bacon continued. In 1635, when a tax was introduced into Burton Latimer called the ship money tax.